Hey folks, it's Brian, and I am back from tour, and boy oh boy, are we going to get into it today. If you came to any of the NSP or Ninja Brian shows on this first leg, thank you very much. If you're coming to them in the future, that's awesome. For NSP, we have tickets left in Dallas and St. Petersburg, but I think everything else is sold out, and I'll be announcing more Ninja Brian shows soon. Also, please remember, Patreon for this show is patreon.com/late night. We have ad-free versions every week and video episodes most weeks, including this one. And no, I'm not going to retake it, because the one thing I like to do is keep it real, which I do on patreon.com/late night every week.
Happy birthday and welcome back, Brian.
Thank you. And we even coordinated our outfits.
We did. I almost wore my Museum of Jurassic Technology shirt today, but then I didn't.
I need to get a new one.
Does your shirt say Math Man? Now,
it does.
Is the second A supposed to be a delta? Or okay.
No, that just fell off. So this was, it is a reference to, Rachel made me this shirt. When I was in second grade, we got to design little teddy bears, and my teddy bear, for whatever reason, when I was seventh grade, second grade, I was 6 or 7. No, I guess 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. I decided I had a little white fur teddy bear with a green sweater with blue writing on it that I put Math Man, because I liked math, and I still have Math Man.
That is so cute.
Math Man's in my closet over there. And
you forced him back in the closet. That's fucked up.
Yeah, well, you know, it's because of my beliefs, my religious beliefs. So anyway, Rachel made me this shirt a long time ago, and now it is getting nicely worn, and the letters are like getting all cracked in a good way.
That's adorable. So I guess you were Math Man and I was Word Nerd.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Oh, I forgot about Word Nerd. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Now that's a fucking podcast right there. Math Man and Word Nerd.
Yeah, I figured we get a title drop early.
It's a superhero show, actually, right?
Yeah, I mean, Word Nerd was a superhero.
Math Man and Word Nerd. What's the name of... are we part of a team?
Yeah, the loser squad.
Yeah.
The easy target for bullying
easy
squad.
Target.
Yeah, that's good.
Honestly, a superhero squad of dorks called the Easy Targets is pretty great.
Well, it's very funny that we both self-imposed those things. Like, I'm going to pick the coolest thing possible, being someone who's pedantic about grammar. And on the school news where everyone could see it and know.
Well, yeah, so your version, possibly due to age differences and what media was available, was a lot more public than mine. I just got a teddy bear I kept at home that said Math Man on it, where you were really putting yourself out there.
Yeah, my early broadcasting career. So, how was your sabbatical?
It was great. We had a wonderful tour. Really, really great shows throughout. Like one kind of catastrophe is too strong a word, but one low point with where we had to postpone a show in Indianapolis due to a variety of concerns, all relating to weather and temperature. But it worked out. But overall, fantastic. We had a great time. Really great crew, bunch of new people that we hadn't worked with before. And yeah, I don't want to give anything away in case people haven't seen the show yet, so I don't want to talk about specifics about the show, but it's just nice to be on the road with our boys.
Very jealous of that.
I know, but lots of fun bus hangs and yeah, we really a wonderful trip overall.
What was the best thing you ate and the coolest side quest you went on?
Best thing I ate, definitely ass. as always, right? But that's that's tour.
Different ass every night.
Well, as I mentioned, my marriage is now officially open and wider than ever after tour. That's
gaping,
right.
even.
So gaping. That's right, gaping. Best thing I ate. Let's see. I did sample a lot of local cuisines. Let me pull up the schedule because I forget, as always, where I was. Yeah. So let's see. Well, probably. Okay. Yes. In Montreal, I went to the famous Jewish deli Schwartz's and got a smoked meat sandwich, which is basic a smoked meat. It's something I've never seen it in the U.S. I've seen it in Jewish restaurants in England and Canada. It's like kind of corned beef. It's sort of like in the middle of corned beef and pastrami. Really great. So Schwartz's, I got smoked meat on rye with mustard, and just incredible. I mean, like really one of an all-time great sandwiches.
Wow.
That was really great. In Chicago, I went and got Chicago dogs because you gotta. The first night of tour, or the night before in Columbus, we went to, God, what was it called? Schmidt's Sausage House, like a German restaurant in Columbus, and got, sausages. And they had this appetizer, which was, so it was like pretzel and mustard, but the pretzel was like cut into segments, and the segments were individually like baked or something. So it's a bunch of like pretzel bites, but they were really crispy. It was like
pretzel nugs.
Oh my, but like weird. It was like they cut up a big pretzel and kind of crisped each one, or maybe cooked them separately. I'm not quite sure, but it was like one of the best pretzel related things I've ever had. And then what else? That was the big stuff. We got barbecue in Kansas City, which was great. And then we missed some low hanging fruit. Didn't get Detroit pizza.
Okay.
In Detroit. Because the other thing is, when you get these things on the road, unless you're going to get them, they show up essentially when you get on stage. They have 2 hours to cool off, and then you get off, and then there's just like cold meat sitting there, which is not great.
What differentiates Detroit pizza?
Detroit pizza is usually thicker, and the cheese around the edge like gets crisped up and kind of goes up the edges of it. There's places in LA you can get it. It's really good.
Yeah, that sounds very tasty.
So it's sort of deep dish adjacent, but the real selling point is caramelized cheese all around the edges of it that kind of goes up the pan. It's fucking great.
Do you like deep dish?
I do like deep dish, but I don't get it often. I find a little goes a long way, and it also just like, you're gonna go get deep dish. Do I want to wait an hour for my fucking pizza? No, I don't.
I'm not a fan. It's a little too tomato-y for me, I think.
Yeah, I find often the crust isn't very good on deep dish. Like I don't like a cornmeal heavy crust, and a lot of them are like cornmeally. So I'm not the hugest fan. I'll eat it a couple times a year. But I don't really seek it out.
It's also a food that I would like want to eat in private, which is not a situation you're really going to get with deep dish.
It's really gross. It's really glorpy.
Yeah,
that's true.
The glorp food group. Talk about the cup that you've got here.
I went to Pabst Mansion in Milwaukee and bought a drink holder. So this is a PBR tin. I can't tilt it but you can see it's tin.
Keeping your water cool.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a tall boy ceramic, I'm assuming.
Is it? I think it's just metal. Yeah, just metal.
Oh, okay. It looks ceramic.
It does look ceramic. So, well, speaking of that, saw a lot. I spent the first 2 weeks. It turns out, so my most recent touring experience was opening for Torp, where I had a lot more time because I wasn't headlining. I had less to do. This I had a lot to do, and I felt very overwhelmed, like with stuff every day. So I didn't get out quite as much at the beginning, but then once we found a rhythm, I really got into it. Went to, for the first time, the Milwaukee Art Museum in Milwaukee, which was fucking rad.
Is that where all the little guys you sent me were from?
Yes, the German expressionism, the seance, that weird fucking badger, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Those were all in Milwaukee Art Museum. Yeah, really big modern wing. Very cool place. Like, I loved it. That Pabst Mansion was in Milwaukee. That was really fun. Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee actually rules. Like, it turns out,
it seems like it.
I might love it there, actually, because I've been there now a few times. Every time it's like, oh my God, this is great. Like, amazing architecture downtown. Great art museum. The National, I don't know if National, but the Bobblehead Hall of Fame is there. So you can go to the Bobblehead Museum, which is really great. Sausage, if you like German food and beer, huge place for that. Really fun. What other stories do I have from the road? Played a classic venue in DC, much like the last one. Is on, I think both of these are on what they called Black Broadway, U Street, if I'm getting the geography right, where a lot of like all the greatest performers, you know, in Black history came through. Ellington, Fitzgerald, Cameo, you know, like, I don't know about Cameo, but there was a painting of Cameo
Gotcha.
in near our green room. But like all my jazz heroes like passed through these theaters, and then they kind of fell into disrepair and then have been brought back. So the one we played is right near Howard University, and it's just like, there's pictures of Ellington performing there, which is like, what the fuck? How is that even?
That's awesome.
Thing? Yeah. We played what we were told many times is Drake's venue in Toronto. History.
Your favorite?
Yep, my favorite. Although we were told they had more pictures of him there in the past and don't have quite as many as they do.
Yeah, that makes
right
sense.
Now. Yeah, who knows why?
Inexplicable.
Yeah, but like pretty much most shows were sold out. There were a couple that were just a little bit under. One big one in Boston, we had over 3,000 people there at the nicest venue we've ever played at. Like really great, dialed in, beautiful backstage.
Green room?
Beautiful green room. Beautiful
Amazing.
Green room. Like lots of space. That's it for an act our size where we have, you know, effectively 2 headliners and then, you know, a big group as support. Sometimes you're just crammed in one room and that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, like Dan does vocal warm-ups. He doesn't want to do loud vocal warm-ups in the same room with everybody else because it's annoying. So like being able to like have our own spaces is huge. And Boston was like super nice laundry, like nice
laundry
staff.
Amazing.
Oh my God. Most places will have laundry at the size venues we're playing, but definitely not all. We played First Avenue in Minneapolis and we got to see Prince's motorcycle from Purple Rain, and backstage they had a bunch of like a wall plastered with set lists from all the acts that came through there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. And every once in a while, you know, in the backstage, you'll see like, oh my God, this artist like wrote on the wall or stuff like that.
That's sick.
The biggest disappointment actually was the first night because I played the JP Hassan's Haskell Enjoyment's record show, record release party. Before I left, and I met someone there who's from Columbus and said, find my friend, she works at this venue, take her. It's like sometimes they get these old venues which are like Masonic lodges, which always are like completely fucked haunted spaces, and it's amazing. And she said, go find my friend who works at this place and ask her to take you to the room with the hooks and the hole. And I was like, my sex room? And she said, no, actually, this is in the venue. And I asked that person was not working there at the time. And I asked every single person we met, where is the room with the hooks and the hole? And no one knew what I was talking about. And so I completely missed the room with the hooks and the hole in Columbus. Bummer. I know. So that was a shame. Hometown Jersey show, lots of family there. Cousin, sister, you know, Dan's mom wasn't feeling well, but his dad came. immediately launched into. So I was like, Avi, give him a big hug, one of my favorite people. And without context, he starts telling a 20-minute story about the DMV.
Oh, that's such classic dad content.
Oh, classic dad. This DMV, we waited forever. And, just off to the races, except less context. Didn't say it was, I had to figure out it was at the DMV. What a wonderful guy. And also, he is looking hot as hell, too.
Really?
Look, he's got a big gray beard now, and he's looking dope. Yeah, looking fine.
Are you bringing the beard back, Brian?
Not anytime soon. No, I don't think so.
Why?
It's nice because it's going to be hot on the road. I'm going to keep it nice and keep it. What do they say? Snatched. Yeah. No, I'm just going to.
I almost passive aggressively bought you beard oils for your birthday.
That would be very nice. I will use them. I will grow it out. Also, I'm in my 50s now. As of today, I'm in my 50s.
How's it feel?
I mean, I like being a Republican. What can I say? It's great.
God.
Now that I'm old, I have to go more conservative.
Yes, because naturally, as you age, you become less empathetic.
Or you have to. No, that's right. I mean,
not, with your life experience, gaining appreciation for other perspectives and, helping people and seeing the material good that comes from supporting your community.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I'm not going to be around that much longer, so good luck, everybody. Let me just, I want to make a lot of money, and what can I say? Go woke, go broke. No.
Well,
there is truly nothing better than a very old, very left-wing person. I love seeing crazy lefty people in their 80s. Fucking rules.
Yeah.
But no, it's I don't know. It's just another day. I feel no particular way about being my age, except I will say, I was thinking about this. I do feel like I am making the best stuff I've ever made artistically. Right now, I think I don't feel drained of ideas in any way like I might worry I was. I felt like I was getting a little, I don't know, not particularly inspired in science when I left, which was 10 years ago now. But artistically, I was I have more stuff than ever I want to make. And I feel like I am not in any sense devoid of energy or inspiration. So
I think that's great.
Feels great.
That's a thing that I look forward to in my own life, of the way that your creative sensibilities develop and are honed.
Yeah, no, exactly. The other thing that's really fun is I don't feel like the stuff I'm making now, especially with Tre Magnifique, I don't think I could have made that 10 years ago. That is not stuff that I would have been able to do before. Now I can. And that's just through experience and life, and I wasn't into that stuff as much back then.
I mean, it's great to see you be able to get into something that you're so interested in and develop it, and I feel like you've gained a lot of confidence in it, which is great to see.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so too. Absolutely. I'm a lot more confident in it. In fact, all right. After our tour ended, first leg in Kansas City, Rachel and Audrey met me there, and Audrey did a thing on stage, which I won't reveal because it may happen again.
But very cute.
But very cute. Very cute. Very fun. And then we spent a week driving around Kansas for spring break, because it turns out a great model for a trip is pick a place you've never been and just drive around it.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing time. We went to a salt mine in Stratica, which is hanging out 700 feet below ground. I sent you pictures of the Museum of Global Treasures in Wichita, which is basically a rich guy just collected a bunch of random shit and then built a museum around it.
Like a classic menagerie.
Yep. War stuff, mummies, gems, dinosaurs, piece of the Berlin Wall. There's a shrunken head. All crazy stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen a mummy in person.
I've seen them in museums. This was like unwrapped mummies, and they were, all mummying out. But yeah, that was cool. Kansas. Oh, Kansas City was fun. We went to basically Kansas City in Missouri, then Wichita, then Manhattan, then Lawrence.
Okay.
And got to see things all around the state. But I sent you pictures of, we went to this place, Moon Marble, in, if it were one N, it'd be Boner Springs, but instead it's Bonner Springs, Kansas. I know. Moon Marble in Boner Springs, Kansas, and watched a fairly old man handle hot glass with so little regard for his own personal safety that I thought it must be a put on. Like, this guy was basically reaching in front of a blowtorch, just grabbing glass. It was nuts. And he made a bunch of marbles for us.
Yeah, I mean, the scary thing about doing lampwork beading, which I've done, is that the glass, if it's not the right temperature to be putting onto the like metal that you're melting it onto, it can crack and shoot at you.
Yeah.
And additionally, the horror story of guy making a big ass marble as a demo, wearing linen pants, and it falling off the wire onto his
or it
dick.
falls on his skin and sticks there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
But it's a very fun thing to do, especially when you're doing the type where you put little dots on it, because you get a much thinner piece of glass, and just kind of sort of like soldering.
Yeah, he did a thing. He basically had two sticks of glass and kind of twisted them together and then rolled them around in a thing. Really cool. And we were talking with him, and he was dropping hints that the marble business is maybe not flourishing these days.
Did you shoot marbles as a kid?
No. I don't think I ever have done that. I may have had a couple, but I have no idea. But there's like a hoop and you try to knock marbles out. Is that
it's
the
not
deal?
necessarily a hoop. It's like you draw a circle and then you're trying to knock the other person's marbles out.
It's like a reverse exorcism.
Yeah, I used to do it with my dad. We would draw a circle in the carpet and then shoot him, because he kind of always want to use the big marble as your shooter.
What are the names? The different types of marble? Yeah, there's a shooter. There's a steely, right? Isn't there a steely?
I have no idea. I don't know the delineations, but due to my dad thrifting and antiquing, he had a really good collection of marbles.
I feel like the marble heyday was maybe the 50s, and then seems like it's been downhill.
Yeah, and they're rolling downhill.
That's right. Well, they have to. That's the way they go. But yeah, we had a great time around Kansas. But what I was going to say originally, when talking about Trey, is so we flew in and out of Kansas City. And coming back, checking in Kansas City Airport, which was empty. The flight back from Kansas City to LA, midday Saturday, the most empty plane I've been on in years.
Wow, okay.
Like, the entire back half of the plane was empty. It was fucking awesome.
I love that kind of flight where the flight attendants will be like, yeah, sit wherever.
Yep. That's what it was. Giving extra snacks out because they just have a lot.
Yeah.
People laying down in rows. This just happened all the time. When I was a kid, or a young adult, I should say, I'd fly across country a lot because I was going to grad school in San Diego, but my family's in Jersey, and most of the time there would be rows wide open. Just doesn't happen as much anymore.
Yeah, because a packed plane is just miserable.
And they're all packed now. But so I check in for the flight, and I have my sacks with me, and the gate agent, who was a lovely middle-aged lady, was like, "Hey, what's that?" And I said, "Oh, they're always curious. It's a saxophone." And she goes, "Do you like smooth jazz?" And I was like, "Yes, I like smooth jazz."
Boy, do I.
And then she was talking about how she and her husband were saving up to go on a smooth jazz cruise for their 40th anniversary. And we were talking about our favorite smooth jazz artists. And it was just like, it was one of these conversations where it's like, okay, I'm, a semi-Jewish white guy from New Jersey, and here's a whatever 60-something black lady from Kansas City bonding over our favorite smooth jazz artists, and she was recommending people to me, and I was recommending people to her, and oh my God,
That's
it
so
was
sweet.
like a real highlight of the trip, just to be like, talking smooth jazz. And it reminds me also that as much as smooth jazz is kind of the topic of ridicule, and there are funny things about it, like people legitimately love it.
Yeah.
And, there was no like, this lady was just into it and it brought her a lot of joy. And it was really nice to talk to someone who was a genuine smooth jazz fan.
Oh, that rules. I'm so happy you got to have a little interaction like that, because those sort of stranger interactions really stick with you.
100%. Especially, you're never going to see this person again. Just have a lovely little moment. Also, I don't know. I feel like when you're in a place, you are somewhat of an ambassador for the place you are from.
Yeah.
And you always want to present your best self towards those people. And by the way, this is not going to be a revelation to anyone who really knows what's up. And it wasn't exactly a revelation to me, but, in Kansas, pretty much everywhere we went, there were like, trans rights stickers and, big, good liberal communities. And it was nice to see, even in a deep red state like Kansas, like, it's kind of like Samantha Allen's book,
Real Queer America,
say, right?
Yeah.
Like these are, her whole point is that, look, there are these amazing queer communities in deep red states. And it was nice to see that not only there, but like very out in the open and existing and, a part of the community. And it was very, no matter what you might think of Kansas, like, I don't know what to fucking think about Kansas.
Yeah.
But it's, there's people everywhere, right?
It's heartening.
It is very heartening, especially in, today when queer and trans rights are under attack, to see people still being proud of who they are and going for it. It's fucking awesome.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad you had a good time on tour.
Yes, I am too. And really, we our fan base is the best. Like we heard from so many. I want to read you an email. Actually, I got our agent sent us this. I gotta find this, but yeah, we hear from people all over venues. They're like, who are these people? They are so nice. Your fans are the best. So this is from a promoter in Milwaukee. Blah, blah, blah. Wanted to reach out to say thanks for a great show with NSP and Twerp. The show is outrageously fun, and it's really a pleasure to see the band's connection with their fan base. I get what they do is by definition silly, but serving fans who aren't the mainstream concert goer is incredibly important, and it feels like they really understand the responsibility that goes with that. They made everyone in the room feel special, important, and celebrated.
Aww.
And I was like, fuck, yes, that's what we want to do.
Best result possible.
Yeah, make everybody feel special and celebrated is exactly the point. And, just the people who come to these shows are awesome. We had one show where we had a mild medical event, like someone, fainted, and immediately we pause, everybody clears out, make room. There's no bullshit.
Yeah.
People were great. So yeah. And the people I do meet, we're not spending that much time with fans because there's just too many people. But when you do meet people individually, for Indianapolis, we had to postpone the show. And basically we postponed it a day, and just as a way of being like, hey, sorry about this and thanks, before the rescheduled show the next day, I went out and talked to everybody in line. So I just kind of walked down the line and said, hey, thanks for being here, sorry about the inconvenience. And that was my one opportunity to like really talk to people coming to these shows, and it was so great. Like, people are dressed up and kind and coming from all over, and it's just nice to see people in person.
Yeah.
And especially the fact that we're 17 years deep into this thing and still thousands of people are coming out for this. It's pretty fucking crazy, actually. Like, yeah. I can't believe it's still a thing and that people are still showing up. So, and it's not even half over. We have 13 out of 50, 13 out of 28 shows done.
Right. I forgot. Is this, how long is your break here?
It's about a month. A little more.
Cool. That's good.
It's good.
I'm glad that you guys schedule that in.
Yeah. It's just too much to be on the road for that long for, you know, for me and Dan, especially. Like I don't want to be away from, my family that long. And it's just hard. When I was on the tour with Twerp last year for 6 weeks, that was tough on Rachel. Like, she did great and, you know, said, yes, absolutely happy to do it. But I don't like leaving her to solo parent that long.
Is Audrey happy you're back?
She's very happy. Although she ain't home right now.
Hey.
She has her first parentless overnight trip.
That's very exciting.
3 days and 2 nights on Catalina with her 5th grade class. And, you know, we told her, like, she was very nervous. She's very attached to us. And, you know, she talking about it for months. I mean, literally months, just like, I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. You know, we're like, you'll be okay. You got this. We believe in you. You know, you can do it. And I was like, if you can be on stage in front of 2,500 people, you can, which most kids would be too scared to even contemplate.
Yeah.
You got this. And last night was the first night and we didn't hear a peep. So, hoping for the best.
That's great. I'm surprised that it's like so early with 5th graders because I didn't have those until middle school.
Well, I had a 5th grade trip. They took us to the Poconos for like an environmental education center when I was in 5th grade for about the same amount of time, I think. Audrey made me a birthday card. I'm going to send you text you a picture of right now. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I loved those sorts of researchy field trips as a kid.
Yes, me too. All right, we had a little kind of mini birthday dinner.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
Do you want to describe what it is?
It says, "You are a cutie pie," and there's a beautiful little drawing of a pie with the exclamations, "Amazing, lovely, so cute."
Can you tell what kind of pie it is?
Is it a key lime pie?
It is a key lime pie, which is one of my favorite pies.
Dude, a good key lime pie is the greatest.
The greatest. Absolutely. When it's like a little tart, but a little sweet, it's fantastic. And in fact, so on our way back from the salt mine in Kansas towards Wichita, there was essentially a Amish pie restaurant. And I got a blackberry pie. Rachel got a cherry crumble pie and Audrey got a chocolate cream pie. And they were fucking insane. Like, the best pies. Oh my God, so good.
What's your favorite pie?
Blueberry. I like a blueberry pie.
I feel like a blueberry cobbler is my favorite, just because I like the gooey bottom layer. But I think a chess pie is probably my personal favorite.
I do like key lime a lot. I like a good lemon meringue. When a lemon meringue pie is good.
I think I've literally never had a lemon meringue pie. I'm just like not a big meringue head.
It can go south pretty fast, but when it's good, it's good. So, yeah, but I am, going straight from tour to family vacation is not easy because it's like you're as tired as you've ever been. And now you have to wrangle a child around an unfamiliar place.
Yeah.
But fun. Oh, another amazing thing, the Toy and Miniature Museum in Kansas City, which one floor is all like, name a thing. You want to see a tiny version of that thing? Good, it's there.
Which I know Audrey loves, that kind of thing, based on her massive Tupperwares of real littles.
The gasping, the continual, hot daddy. Oh my God. And then the second floor was toys, including classic toys from like 19th century stuff. And they had a whole Masters of the Universe section. It's like, oh yeah, I'm old enough where my toys are in a museum. And honestly, you are old enough where a couple of your toys are in this museum too, because they have like they have Bratz dolls and shit.
Nice.
You know, like a few 2000s toys. Polly
I
Pockets.
wasn't allowed to have Bratz dolls, but
oh, because they're immoral.
I think my parents didn't love the whole vibe, but I was very jealous of my friends who did have Bratz dolls. But I was a big Polly Pocket head.
I remember that. Yep, they had a bunch of Polly Pockets. They had original, you know, like original Battleship, original Twister, original Candyland, that kind of stuff. Yep. So very cool too.
That's excellent.
But yeah, happy to be home. I'm doing very little for the beginning part of this week. Just kind of hanging out, getting caught up on Returnal, which I haven't played for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, but look, enough about me. How have you been?
Well, you know, the busy, glamorous life I lead. I've been all over doing all sorts of stuff. Schedule's been packed. No, I don't know. I work and then I rot. That's it.
Yeah.
But this week my dad is here, which is great. And when he visits, it is always a smorgasbord of food, good food, which I'm not accustomed to really eating much other than garbage and frozen shit. So last night we got Din Tai Fung. Well, we ordered
very
it,
nice.
which, goddamn, it's so good.
So good.
I love those garlic string beans. I mean, I killed that whole box after eating too much of the like little shrimp and pork shumai, and they had a beef noodle soup that really popped off. And we got the little red bean. What do you call them? I forget. Balls, yeah, bursting with red bean paste. And tonight we're very excited because we are going to Musso and Frank Grill finally.
My favorite restaurant in LA. Yes.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I've been meaning to go forever, and it's a nice occasion for it. And we're going to the medieval torture museum that's right next to it. So after we finish recording here, a few hours interim to chill out, and then we'll ship out and eat way too much food. Like I'm already trying to, you know, in my head, like, do not let your eyes get bigger than your stomach. We do not need multiple appetizers. And then,
yep, that's right. And you live here. You can always go back.
I can always go back. I think I got to get the martini just because, you know, that's their thing.
Did you pick the rest of your meal yet?
Yeah, basically.
What are you getting? Come on.
I got to do the filet mignon. I haven't had one in like 6 years when I was in Germany. A little baked potato, some cream spinach action. And we'll probably get a few apps. I don't know about dessert yet, like what we're going to go for, because all of it sounds good.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's fine. We often get it there. It's not my favorite part of the meal. But it's fine. It's good. Are you going to get the old thing I recommended to you?
The beef consomme?
The jellied cold beef consomme.
I was going to ask if it was cold or hot, but I guess the jelly doesn't really work hot.
It's cold.
Is it like a Jello shot or what's the deal?
It is? So it is a it's like a, what is it called? Rocks glass? I don't know, like a glass, and maybe an inch or so at the bottom is jellied beef soup with chunks of vegetables in it, and then some kind of foam horseradish, I think, on top.
Okay.
And it is, I ordered it only because we've been to Musso and Frank's enough that I am fascinated by, you know, the restaurant's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
I love that old shit. Like, why the fuck were people eating aspic or whatever back then?
Yeah. I mean, I love how much on the menu is like old, weird. I am I'm very tempted by the Welsh rarebit, just because bread and cheese is kind of hard to pass up.
I've never done the kidneys. They're the lamb kidneys. I've always been curious. I like a steak and kidney pie. I've had the liver there, which is liver. I love liver, but a little goes a long way. And you get halfway into a liver and you're like, oh my fucking God, I want to die.
How's the texture of liver?
Honestly, it's good. It's creamy.
Okay.
It's like a good
medium
liver
creamy.
is, yeah, medium creamy. That's exactly what it is when it's well done. A good liver is great, but when you get a whole fucking calf, I mean, they're big, right? It's like cow's liver.
Yeah.
I find that I eat a liver or part of it, and it's like I feel like shit the next day because it's just too rich.
Yeah, it seems like it would be really rich. I know we're probably going to get the steak tartare with the little quail egg on top because I don't even remember the last time I had steak tartare, but
yeah, it's been a long time. I don't think I've had it there.
Yeah, it looks very good. I think maybe the last time I had it was in 2017, but like I feel I'm going to be loading up on meats this evening.
Yes,
which is going to go great after viewing gruesome torture implements, which apparently that place is really interactive and there are a lot of photo ops. Like you can get into a fake Iron Maiden. So we'll see.
Now, you've never been, right?
No.
Is it well reviewed? Is it tourist trappy? Is it like...
The tickets were really expensive, but like all of the reviews were 4 or 5 stars. Because I was pointing out when I was looking like, oh, what's in the area that we could do? I was like, oh, there's a torture museum right next to it. And I didn't think my dad would go for it. And he was like, we should go. But I think...
a dad-daughter bonding moment.
Because back when the Museum of Death existed, we went there together. I mean, that was a go-to.
Does that not exist anymore?
It closed down, yeah.
It died.
Yes, I really liked that place. But I imagine this might be a similar vibe in terms of just having a bunch of weird, morbid stuff.
What's your favorite medieval torture device? Mine is this podcast.
Sure, yeah, it's number 1. I like the iron bowl, just in terms of...
Remind me what that is.
It's the metal bowl that they shove you inside and then they put it on top of a fire so you just cook.
So you cook.
I like... This is maybe not an implement, but it's a method of scaphism, I think, where they...
I don't know this word.
They cover you in honey, put you in a boat, and put you on water so the bugs just come and feast and lay their eggs on you until you slowly die.
Gross.
What about you? What's your favorite medieval torture instrument? Other than this show? Other than Is It Mayo?
Well, by the way, I got to do Is It Mayo live a couple times on this tour.
Wonderful.
And it went very well. The Iron Maiden is hard to argue with. It's like a classic fucked up thing. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Is being drawn and quartered where they tie your limbs to horses and make them run?
I think, is it? I think that's a version of it. Yeah. But I feel like there's another name for that.
Yeah. Also the wheel. I forget what the deal with the wheel is.
The wheel. Right. There's the wheel. Yeah. I'm happy to say I don't know too many.
Yeah. I think I go for the Iron Bull because that feels like if I had my druthers in terms of picking, that would be at the bottom of the list of like, sounds like the worst one to do. Just because I'm claustrophobic and I'm very afraid of dying in a fire. So,
yeah, I like that museum's in LA in the dumbest part of town.
Yeah, I mean, it's a block away from the Chinese theater and also next to all the wax museums. So I think there are a lot of wax figures in the medieval torture museum.
Are you going to go to Hollywood Toy and Costume?
No.
What is that? It's a shitty but tourist friendly costume store that's right across the street from Musso's. Big costume store.
Would you recommend anything else in the area? Because our reservation isn't until pretty late.
No, I hate that part of town.
I know, me too. That's why I never go.
There's nothing else right there other than, I mean, what do we do when we go there? We go to El Capitan, we go to the Chinese theater, we go to Musso's, and then we immediately leave and go elsewhere. So there's like nothing else over there. The El Capitan, if you guys have never been, I mean, you have to go see something, but they have the Wurlitzer organ on a pneumatic lift, and they get like, so if you go see one of the I don't think it's every show necessarily, but certainly the big weekend shows. You know, Disney runs the theater. When you get someone who's fucking tearing ass on a Wurlitzer, it is the greatest experience of your life because it's, you know, they've got the feet and the hands and all the stops and everything playing. It's so great. Those people, I don't understand how you play an instrument like that. It is just a next level skill. That's really cool. Chinese theater is great, you know, but you got to go see something.
Yeah, I've never been there. But it was always the thing living in North Carolina or Georgia where people would talk about, like, I went to LA and it was dirty and horrible. And it's like, you only went to Hollywood, didn't you?
Yes, which sucks.
None of us go here. You didn't go to the cool parts of town.
That's right. Yeah, no, that specific strip is awful. I can't think of a single thing to, like, go do over there.
Yeah, I need
fun.
my arms severely twisted to ever go to Hollywood.
Of course, as well you should. But Musso and Frank's is worth it. You know, do you know, here's tips. Valet parking in the back.
Okay.
So drive around back and they have a lot that you can park in. It is worth it.
Okay, we might Uber depending on...
Even better.
Sussing it out and seeing what the price is.
Yeah.
And also that opens up cocktail potential.
Oh, yeah.
My father might get a Sazerac.
Oh, very nice. Have you been drunk with your father?
No.
When was the last time you were drunk? Like, not like rager blackout drunk. I don't know if you've ever been that, but like, no, like, I've had a few too many. Because mine is right now. The
last time I was really, really, really drunk was when it was New Year's Eve and I drank White Claw Surges thinking that they were the same ABV, and then I threw up in a lift on myself.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I kind of swore off really, really drinking after that. But I've been getting this thing in the past year where when I drink, my jaw hurts. And I think from what I've read about it, it's
like the muscle?
No, it's like the salivary glands. And I think it has something to do with, like, if you have not sufficiently eaten before drinking, like having alcohol in your mouth makes them get blocked. So it's like a really intense pain for like 30 minutes and it kind of makes you feel like you're going to throw up. So I'm a little concerned about that for tonight, but I think I'll probably do an appetizer and then order a drink.
Smart. That's crazy. I've never heard
so
that.
it's not like I really liked drinking before. I would be like a 2-drink max, if that. But, you know, it's kind of put me off doing it entirely, which sucks because I like a cocktail. I'll have one, but I like to taste a tasty little thing that's been crafted. I love a little boozy cherry.
Yeah.
But I don't need to drink.
No.
At all.
I was not... basically not drinking before tour. And then, I was like, you know what? I like to have a bourbon before and after a show. Meowch and I do what he calls a swirly. Yeah. You want a swirly? And then we just share a little bourbon before getting on stage. I don't know where, I think because you swirl it around the glass or something.
That makes sense.
And as the tour went on, so first it was just me and him, and then it was me, him, and Sung. And then it's me, him, and the tour manager. And then slowly it's like everybody on the tour. But so we have this show in Indianapolis, which gets canceled. But what we did is we had to cancel it so late because we were like, and it's the least interesting and honestly most annoying story of all time, which makes me want to tell it so bad, but I'm not going to. So the people who were there for the VIP pre-show thing were already there and all lined up. So we basically did the VIP thing that night and then postponed the rest of the show for the next night. And it was a rough day. And so on stage, I had a little bit of bourbon. And then there is here's a good thing I ate. I went to, in Indianapolis, there's a classic old school steakhouse called the St. Elmo Steakhouse, which I'd been to before. And they're famous because they have a, like, crazy spicy shrimp cocktail, like a fuck you up horseradish level shrimp cocktail. And I had this once, I guess it was 2017, loved it, went back because now we had a night off and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go get a steak. So I go to this, I have a shrimp cocktail, I have a pork chop, and I have one martini. So I had like a little, I mean, not much bourbon, a little bit, and then one martini. And I woke up the next morning and I was annihilated. Like hungover and I was like, do I have COVID? I felt, headache, like couldn't get, like went back to sleep, just terrible. And I was like, how the fuck is this? One martini. And is it the combination of things? I was so fucked. And by the time we played the show that night, I felt by mid-afternoon, it was totally fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, how is this just aging or what? But, and this was a couple weeks into the tour, so it wasn't like I went from 0 to 60. Like I had been having alcohol pretty much every night. Oh my God, fucking awful. I hate being hungover. It's so bad.
Yeah, it just completely feels not worth it, and I hate throwing up more than anything else. Like, I can't puke and rally. I puke and I'm done. Some reason I threw up. I threw up the other night, which might have something to do with the fact that I ate half a box of chocolates. But it was the kind where, like, it's not digested enough to come out, to have the courtesy of coming out as a liquid, where it's like you're choking on chunks. It was great. It's like, what did I do to deserve this? Eat half a box of chocolates.
Wait, did you barf up chunks of chocolate?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
And an Uncrustable. Once again.
Wow.
The glamorous single life I lead.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
And you're still single. Incredible.
Yeah. Oh God.
Thought?
I've thrown up on a date before, humiliating. And then I got broken up with the same week.
I remember that. I've told you my story about this, right?
Yes. Vomiting into the hands.
Yes. Yeah.
Romance.
Very cool. That's love. What can I say?
Yeah. It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
Did you see that Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered came out today?
I did not see that, no. So that, that's pre-scrim or post-scrim?
It's pre-scrim.
Pre-scrim. So
I have only played...
just pre-scrim?
I mean, it's the one before scrim.
Well, now that I'm 50, actually, I think I qualify for an Elder Scrolls discount.
You do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only ever played like an hour of Oblivion, but have played an ungodly amount of Scrim.
But you live it.
I'm constantly in Oblivion, baby. Staring it down, it stares back. But no, I bought it and I'm excited to play it.
And so let's see, it's on what, Switch?
No, I at least know that it's on PC. I bought it, I installed it on the Steam Deck. Apparently it's not running well on the Steam Deck, but remains to be seen. And as I'll talk about with What's Poppin', I've been playing a particular series of games that is so low demand graphically that it runs very well on Steam Deck.
That's great. I actually have a video game for What's Poppin' as well.
Should we just move
on? You know what? I wouldn't mind a little shorter episode this week.
Yes, because, I was going to suggest a shorter one just because we have to do a mini after this, and then I want some time to chill.
Great. Well, let's move on to segments. Our first segment, brand new for 2025, is our pop culture recommendation segment. This is where we get to talk about a book, a movie, or a video game, or whatever, something we've been enjoying recently. Although we pretty much gave it away, we're both going to talk about video games. I really swallowed the V on that. We're both going to talk about video games is what I said, but what I meant is we're both going to talk about video games. The name of this segment is What's Poppin', and the theme song goes here.
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? Before we get into What's Poppin', I meant to say this before. I want to say it publicly. Thank you for doing pretty much all the work on this podcast while I was on tour. You and Rich crushed it. And it was so nice to like log on to our little Discord chat and just be like, oh shit, it's all handled. You guys just did it.
I didn't want you to have to worry about it. No. And you still edited the episodes, so that is the lion's share of... I still edited the episodes, but it was just like... just getting the stuff and not really having to do a lot of it made my life so much easier. And that was not the case last time I was on tour. Like, I was still very actively like doing stuff for the show, and this was so much easier. So I wanted to thank you and Rich both for really like taking the reins. And you did a month worth of minis just by yourself? Yeah, and honestly, I had a great time doing them because it was all stuff I was gonna do anyway, like doing Balatro,
Balatro,
doing some
yeah.
Dead by Daylight, which is maybe less pleasant in terms of I had to record for maybe 6 hours to get 2 hours of content just because the game is in a miserable state right now. So at least it was
I did
entertaining, I guess.
we didn't watch it, but I showed Audrey a couple seconds of your makeup tutorial. And I was like, look, Audrey, Layton's doing makeup. I was like, I can't let you watch this because I'm not sure what she says on it. And it's not for kids. Oh, why isn't it for kids? I was like, honey, we do shows for adults. Like, it's not for you.
This is not well, this is a family show, but it's not a family show.
No, that's right. Manson family show. The, what's poppin', Layton?
So what's popping for me is a very nostalgic pull that I have reopened due to my father being here. And these are games that I have wonderful formative memories because we'd play them together. But what's popping for me is the Her Interactive Nancy Drew point and click games.
Oh, my.
Last night I started playing Danger on Deception Island, which was always my favorite, with my dad watching me while I played it. They're a lot harder even as an adult that I remembered. Now, to be fair, as a kid, I always played on the junior detective setting, and now I'm playing on the senior detective. So I actually don't know what the difference between them is. But I've been struggling, and I bought a bunch of the games on sale for like $2 each forever ago. And getting back into them. I mean, the puzzles are hard. Interrogating people is interesting. And then there's the nostalgia factor. So they're just really enjoyable games. And they're interesting too. Like for kids games, particularly marketed at girls, like there's a lot of historical stuff, or like you have to learn about sciencey things to solve puzzles. Like, and the puzzle variety is great too. There are some that are annoying where it's like, go to this place and then go to this place and then go to this place. And because it's pre-rendered environments and you move through like one arrow at a time.
Alan Wake disease.
And
Burn.
it's charming, but it really is like PNGs stitched together. But I've been really enjoying them.
Would Audrey like these?
I think Audrey would really like these. Yeah, and I could recommend you the ones that are good because there are a lot of stinkers in the series, and then there's a ton that I haven't played because after a series of stinkers, which is Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, which is where it started dipping. I know it's a lot of people's favorite, and then Danger by Design is trash, and Creature of Kapu Cave is trash, and then I kind of half aged out, half didn't want to bother. But like the first 10 are really solid. I would say Danger on Deception Island is my favorite. Secret of Shadow Ranch, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, Curse of Blackmore Manor because it scared the shit out of me as a kid, but also the mystery in that one is not great, but I think the puzzles are really fun because it's like you're going through like a weird haunted like alchemist mansion. And there's werewolf stuff and there's a creepy kid. There's a parrot you can feed and you can get hints from. But one of my favorite parts of the games is how easily you can straight up die and you get second chance, but like you can give Nancy food poisoning, you can fall, you can get locked in a Mayan tomb, and then it shows you a newspaper from 100 years later, like teen detective unearthed in Mayan tomb. So they're dark. They get dark. There's a lot of peril. Oh, Treasure in Royal Tower, also great. I'm blanking on some of them, but A Secret of Scarlet Hand, if I didn't already say that, it's a fun.
Secret of what hand? Scarlet?
Yeah. It's Nancy gets an internship at a there's like a Mayan exhibit opening at the museum, and the exhibition hall has like a huge temple in it that you can walk up through. There's a cool garden.
What town does she live in? Is it something Falls?
I don't know. Probably. I remember reading the books way back when, but she travels around and it's always like, I'm going on vacation, and then there's a mystery.
Of course, always.
Yeah, classic. And you can call the Hardy Boys or her boyfriend Ned or Bess and George, who I think are supposed to be sisters, but who read very strongly as a nice lesbian couple. but they give you hints, which it seems like, are you guys breaking the law? How do you know this? You can't just say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really fun games. So I would highly recommend them for anybody who likes puzzle games. But especially if you played them as a kid and haven't touched them as an adult, I think they're sufficiently challenging to come back to puzzles that you vaguely remember and solve them. Anyway, that's what's popping for me. What's popping for you?
What's popping for me is also a video game. And this is a game that, so we get on the tour bus, and normally tour bus is Mario Kart time. And mostly that's so Meowch can destroy everybody because he is a crusher in Mario Kart.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Very good. Very good. But our sound guy, Paul, is like, yo, I think we should check out this game that I love to play on buses. And this game is called Boomerang Fu, F-U. And it is from, I just looked it up about 5 years ago, 2020. And it is in the genre that Rachel has dubbed adorable violence, where you play as these little like, you're a piece of bacon or a watermelon or a little bowl of ramen, and you slash or hurl boomerangs at each other in a series of adorable environments. If you're the boba, when you get cut in half with a boomerang, your bobas spill everywhere. If you're the sushi roll, when you get cut in half, you form two little pieces of a sushi roll. You can play with bots. There's like a hide and seek thing. There's a free for all. There's power-ups as you go. It was really fun to play in the bus. And I got home and I was like, Audrey, I think you'd like this game. And then her best friend came over the next day and they spent 3 hours playing it.
That's wonderful.
It is so fun. Up to 6 players. So great for a group. And just like, I mean, a lot of button mashing, but really fun.
Okay. That's good to know.
Boomerang Fu. Really like it. And cheap too. It's like $15.
It's nice too that like kids still have a good go-to handheld to sit around and play together, because I have such fond memories of like sitting on neighborhood kids' trampolines, and we all have Nintendo DS's playing Nintendogs or New Super Mario Bros, which had a really great feature where you could play with friends who didn't own the game.
I remember that.
Which is great. Like, what a wonderful thing.
Yeah, no brainer.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of video games, who was able to join us for our show in DC, but none other than Gene Park.
Wow, yay.
Who is, an early guest of the show and a good friend and just a sweetheart of a guy. But
so smart and funny.
We were talking about you and, just everything. What a great dude.
We should get him back on the pod.
Yeah, it was
I
really
would enjoy
fun
that
to talk
very
to him.
much.
But he was talking, we were talking about Switch 2 and the Minecraft movie, and he wrote the main review of the Minecraft movie for the Washington Post.
Wow. I'm
like
so glad that we went on opening weekend before the nightmare that is presently happening with that movie. I feel every movie theater employee listening to this, you're an American hero, or you're
real.
a country hero.
Yep. All right. Well, that's what's popping for me. I mean, I have so many other things I could talk about, but we're gonna.
I know. I had a couple of others that I could have talked about, but I shan't.
I wrote the name. I'm looking at my notes here. I wrote the name of what I thought would be a real winner of a show. It's not exactly a what's popping, but I think it has legs. It's called Horn Dogs Eating Corn Dogs. And you get two like really like horny sexed up people and you take them for a corn dog. Maybe it's hot dog on a stick. Maybe it's some other generic brand. Maybe they bake it at home and they just have horny little conversations while
interviewing each other.
Corn dogs. Yeah, exactly.
Like the Korean corn dogs would be great. The ones with
that's
cheese in them.
Yep. That's right.
The frozen cafeteria lunch mini corn dogs.
That's an option. It's all on the table, and probably, like always happens with this sort of show, you start off with corn dogs, but you get 50 episodes in, and you're like, "Fuck, we have no more corn dogs because we ate all of them," and then you have to start branching out into other things. So maybe you go to, I don't know if it's additional like product. Maybe it's stuff that's just covered in other stuff. Maybe that's the genre you're exploring.
A dog.
Right?
Maybe like corn shaped into a dog form.
It's possible. Or just generic hot dogs. I don't know. Like, I feel like if you expand it to hot dogs, you have kind of a broader palette. But, you know, and then, please.
Put corn dogs on a hot dog.
You mean like you have a bun and you put a naked hot dog on it and then you put a corn dog on top of it? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean, instead of the regular dog, it's just a corn dog shoved in the bun with fixins on the top.
Oh, so you take a normal corn dog and you put it in a hot dog bun.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting question. I mean, it strikes me...
You separately fry the bun sort of like it's Navajo fry bread or something.
Yep,
so you've got the corn dog and then a bunch of stuff on it. I feel like that would be really good.
I feel like it would be really good. It might be a little like carb heavy, but I don't know. Corn dogs are really good. Like, I do like corn dogs. And I like eating corn and bread, like at a Thanksgiving meal, like corn with a roll. I've never even eaten a corn sandwich where you just put corn on a roll, but it sounds like it would probably be pretty good.
I mean, that corn thing that you guys make every year for Thanksgiving is great.
The spoon bread. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe a Patreon exclusive, Horn Dogs Eating Corn Dogs, our first spinoff.
Yeah, we make the corn dog hot dog. The double dog.
Yes, that's right. We get a deep fryer, and I let Audrey use it unsupervised.
Yes, a raw dog and a
raw dog. Yeah, that's right. So there's a sub series of Horn Dogs Eating Corn Dogs, which is the raw dog, right? Mm-hmm. Which is uncooked. I mean, they're cooked. They're like hot dogs. They're just not, but it's plain heated.
If you're cutting it up like you're feeding a toddler. God,
that's exactly right.
A cut up hot dog. It sounds pretty good right now.
If it's a cut up hot dog is good but you got to crisp it.
Yeah.
Right? You got to,
I feel like the way, at least at home, like the ideal way is initially do a Tupperware container full of water, hot dogs in it, microwave. So they're kind of boiled and then you crisp it up.
Yeah. Can I say the Chicago dogs I had at Portillo's, classic Chicago dog restaurant, were so fucking good. I mean, and the fries were like perfect. It was exactly the Chicago meal.
Kind of fry? Like a skinny, a fat?
Crinkle cut, medium thickness.
Ugh.
Like with almost too much salt on it, meaning perfect.
Yeah. And
the kind of fries, they were so pale coming out of the fry box. I was like, these don't look good. They were perfect. I thought they were going to be limp. Nothing worse than a limp fry.
Yeah. Well, I like a limp fry, but it needs to be amongst crispy. Yeah. My favorite McDonald's fry in the box is the long floppy one.
No,
that's my favorite.
I want it burnt. I want the one that's way too crispy.
Freak.
I mean, I'm into some pretty fucked up shit, including burnt French fries. I know.
And not cheese.
Not cheese.
So you wouldn't eat a cheese fry?
I would eat a cheese fry with mozzarella cheese.
Freak.
But
bizarre.
No, that mozzarella disco fries, mozzarella and gravy. That is a normal cheese fry. Ask anybody. That's good. I'll eat that. I'll eat that. I won't eat cheddar. Right.
Well, we're moving on because I'm very hungry and I'm trying to not eat food before going to big dinner.
Smart.
Anyway, now it's time for our final segment, which is 3 parts gratitude exercise, 1 part petty grousing. The name of the segment is Peaches and Lemons, and the theme song goes right here. Peaches and Lemons. Peaches and Lemons. Only took 260 episodes, and I feel like I can finally smoothly introduce the segment.
I thought that was flawless. I have a hot one.
Yeah.
Here, much like that show. Hot ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Audrey, as I mentioned, is on an overnight trip. Now, they went to, did I say they went to Catalina? Did I say this?
Yeah.
And the communication from the school has been consistent over the last, however, many months. We had to turn the permission slips so long ago. I mean, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it was like an 8-page permission slip. And I'm not kidding. It was crazy. Double-sided. pages, like unhinged.
I mean, like liability stuff.
Yeah. And some dumb things too, but whatever. So the school has said, get there 5:45 a.m. Buses leave 6:15, so they can get down there and have a half day in Catalina. Makes sense. You know what a room parent is? Are you familiar with this concept? Yes. The room parent for Audrey's 5th grade class sends out an email while we're on spring break last week that says, okay, get there at 5:15, buses depart, and this is her words, promptly at 5:45. And, it's the day before. We're looking at this. I'm like, well, which is it? Do I have to get up at 4:30 or 5? Like, which one is it? And I'm like, they've said 5:45 the whole time. Let me email this lady. Luckily, she's checking her email on Sunday. I say, which one is it? She writes back, oh, yeah, I just noticed this. I just said get there at 5:15. Buses depart at 5:45 in case people are chronically late. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do you realize how many? And then we get there, and so many people have just been waiting around in the cold for half an hour because they were told buses depart promptly at 5:45, which is just categorically false. The buses left at 6:15. So rather than give out accurate information, she was like, oh, the people who are late are going to want to be there early, so I'll cater all my information to these maniacs who are chronically late, who should just fucking show up on time anyway. Yeah. And I was so mad about this, and I'm glad I checked because everybody was confused.
Yeah, that's super frustrating.
Buses depart promptly at 5:45. No, they don't. They departed at 6:15. You just decided by fiat to push everything back half an hour for this mythical person who's chronically late. By the way, nobody was chronically late. Everybody was there. I hate that. I hate conveying information incorrectly and then being like, well, I just did it this way, because of whatever. Now, we all know we have certain people in our lives that you have to tell an earlier time if you want them to be on time. That's fine. Then you communicate with that person that way. But don't send out this fucking blanket statement. Ugh. Still
what a pain
about it. What a pain. We got there at the later time, which was plenty of time. That's it.
Oy vey. I'm sorry.
That's my lemon. Well, it all worked out because, again, luckily, to her credit, she was checking emails on a Sunday and answered right away. So,
fair enough.
Great. Anyway, what's your lemon?
My lemon is when you have a situation where you're like moving things around, you're cleaning, and you fumble multiple objects in a row for no reason. Nothing drives me to like unintentionally exclaiming in fury than doing that, especially if you knock something over that has like liquid in it or it falls somewhere inconvenient where you have to crawl under a table or something to get it.
Yeah, all your poppy seeds go everywhere.
Yeah. Why? Because I wouldn't consider myself uncoordinated. And the fact that like you'd think you'd learn from fumbling one thing, like, okay, I should be more careful and deliberate about how I'm grabbing things right now. And then just having a real like, God damn it kind of moment sucks. I hate it.
Well, and the worst part is also you kind of saw it coming, right? Yeah. You had a moment when you picked the stuff up, you're like, I think I can get this. But you knew it wasn't 100%. And then you get 5 seconds in and you drop the shit and you're like, fuck, why wasn't I more conservative?
You're getting more progressively worked up, which means you're probably grabbing things more aggressively. And and when there's like a Rube Goldberg reaction of I've knocked one thing over and now I've knocked 5 things over.
Yep.
So that's my lemon, just that sort of inconvenience.
Yeah.
So now it's time for peaches. And as always, mine will probably be pretty brief. First peach, my dad is here. Always a treat. Hanging out, eating good food. He cleaned my whole apartment, which is a huge load off. Real saint.
A huge what?
Saint.
No. Before off, you had a word there. It was a huge...
No. It was a huge weight. It was a huge weight. I said wait, and if you play it back,
clarification anymore.
You'll hear me say wait if you play it back. and he got my car fixed because I had a plastic under thing dragging. So that's wonderful, and I'm just happy to see him and chill out and watch. I'm gonna force him to watch The Lost Pilot, and he's down for it. Which
and he's never seen it.
Nope. Second peach is.
I sent you a text.
You sent me a text. I don't see it.
The sign I saw in a Goodwill outside of Wichita.
Well, it'll probably take 5 minutes to arrive for some reason. My second peach is, as mentioned, just having a lot of good food. Because, you know, if it's just me, I don't really treat myself to going places. But we're doing Musso and Frank. We're going to go to Porto's with Jory.
Oh, great.
We're going to go to Factory Kitchen, which is the really, like, probably my favorite restaurant in LA with the handmade pastas and whatnot. And then
we are going to go out.
We are going to go to sushi. So I'm very excited for all of it. Just because I don't go places. That's nice. And my third peach is I did some little press-on at-home nails.
I noticed these. I saw you grabbing something before, and I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, which I like. I used, instead of using nail glue, which sucks, I used the little stickers that come with it, which I'd never used before. So easy, and I know that when I pull these off later tonight, they're going to come off easily, but they're pretty solid.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So I've never used press-on nails. If you scratch your arm or something, are they in danger of falling off or no? They're pretty stable.
No, I mean, during this episode, I lost this one, but only because I used a sticker that was too small and didn't cover the whole nail. The rest of these, like I've been using my phone, petting my dog. They're solid.
Easy.
Because I only really want to tolerate acrylic nails for like 3 days max, and that's generous. So you get the chance to. I have so many packs of them because they're so cheap. So you have options. You can reuse them. It's good stuff. What are your peaches?
Well, I basically talked about all of them, but I'm just gonna reiterate. Peach number 1, great tour. Loved being on tour. Loved playing the shows and seeing fans, and honestly, maybe the best tour experience I've had. In terms of just, it felt easy and fun. Peach number 2 was our spring break trip to the great state of Kansas. What else do you want? Salt mines and barbecue. Just perfect. Nice, smooth jazz conversation. That was great. And peach number 3 this is my kid's first overnight without a parent. And that's a milestone.
It's a milestone.
First night away from home without either of us. And that's a big deal. And she'll be 11 in a month.
Oh.
In less than a month, she'll be 11.
God.
And she's still very little in many ways, but growing up.
I was going to ask, there are Minecraft movie collab makeup things right now. And I was wondering if she would like that.
I can't imagine she wouldn't. So, I mean, that you just hit the 2 things she loves.
All right. When we went to the Minecraft movie, she got her Gamer Girl bag.
Well, you know what she would love even more is doing that with you. If you guys were doing Minecraft makeup together, that would be like her dream come true.
Yeah, they're really cute ones. There's like a nether portal makeup mirror, which is neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like a little compact and the front is clear, but with the portal outline, and there are a bunch of highlighters that are like block shaped.
I think she would be very into that. Yes.
Okay.
So
amazing.
We haven't booked it yet, but for her birthday, she wants to do an escape room with a couple of her tiny friends.
That's wonderful.
It'll just be like 4 or 5 girls, and they'll do an escape room, and it'll be great. But I don't know where it is.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Take her to one of the horror ones where you got to stick your hands in toilets.
Oh, yeah. She would love nothing more than that. Yeah. So, anyway, well, look, our first episode back.
I'm glad you're back. I missed doing this.
I miss doing this too. Yes, it's fun. It's fun to be back on with you. I loved hearing the episode with Jory. You guys had a great conversation about...
It's always the best.
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of Jory content over the last month.
We did. I like that we're unleashing a little bit more Patreon content. The 8 hours of The Sopranos. I enjoyed re-listening to parts of it, and I forgot how many Lost references that you guys made that now I understand. So extra enjoyable on that front.
Yeah, and this is going to come as a shock. I didn't listen to that episode. I just slapped them together and then bounced it.
I think we should do more Gabagool School. I feel like it would be a shame to not follow up on it. And I know it's been over a year, with a year in between the big chunk of episodes and then college and then another year. So I imagine we might be a little lost, but
I can catch up. We should actually do it regularly and not this thing that we always do with the long series. I mean, literally every time we have an idea, we do this with the long series, we do one and then we forget about it for a while and then we wait 6 months and then it happens again. So, yeah.
Well, I'm looking at any excuse to hang out with Jory. So,
yes, indeed. Lifetime ban from the show. Anyway, this was great. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And now, look, I've been away for a while. I feel like maybe I should offer some parting words.
You should.
Because it's been a bit. So maybe I'll just go with my typical catchphrase, take it sleazy.
Yes, indeed. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Late Night is produced by Brian Wecht and Leighton Gray. Sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/LeightonNight. Follow us on Twitter at LeightonNight, on Instagram at Leighton_night, or email us at leightonnight@gmail.com.